So you have a 9 to 5 and you're thinking to start your own business. Maybe you want to quit your job to start your own thing, or maybe you just want to start a side hustle. Whatever be the case, you're thinking of a certain business. I'm here today to tell you if you will succeed or you will fail. Yes, I've been in business for 16 years now. Trust me, I know a business person when I see one. Many of you are running businesses, but it will shock you that some of these people who have regular jobs would make even better business people than some of you. And it's for obvious reasons I'm going to explain right now. It's for the mere reason that your boss is your training ground. If you're going to become an entrepreneur and you're working for somebody now, or you have had bosses in the past or intern or anything, just know that you're on the right path, because the easiest way to learn the ins and outs of entrepreneurship is just to work for somebody. So the boss you have now, that difficult boss, that boss who is stressing you, they are not only your supervisor or your manager or whatever, they are your first client. Consider your boss your very first client. If you work for someone, consider yourself a business person already, because what you're doing is selling a service. You're selling your services. They're paying you money for your services, or maybe it's a product or whatever, but your boss is your client. They have expectations like every other client. They have preferences, they have demands, they have deadlines, they have strict requirements. Everything a client would want from you is exactly what your boss wants from you. So that's actually a premium training ground if you're going to become a business person. When you work somewhere, there are many lessons you gather, many things, a lot of knowledge you gather that can help you when you become a business person. For example, communication. You become an expert in communication when you work for someone, especially if it's an intelligent person. You just start understanding body language, cues. It's easy to read the room. You know when to talk, when not to talk. You know how to deal with clients. You understand instructions better. You know how to manage feedback. You know what to do with feedback. You know how to transmit information to your colleagues. You know how to talk to your boss. Like, by the time you're done with that job, you are an auto-tone when it comes to communication. And that's something you are going to need when you become an entrepreneur, because guess what? There is a lot of back and forth you have to do with your clients. And if you cannot manage that aspect of business, then you're just going to fail now. You're going to fail easily. Another thing you learn when you work for someone is expectation management. You learn how to deal with expectations, because your boss has expectations. They know what they want. They know what their clients want. They know what they're expecting from you. There are deadlines. There's a particular way you're expected to do things. Sometimes there's even a lot of pressure, and you have to manage all of that. You manage all the expectations. You are supposed to deliver no matter what. And that's something you carry on when you start working in your own business. If you work for someone and you're not able to deliver, you just keep complaining, oh, the job is difficult, oh, my boss is difficult. See, I'm not saying they're not difficult bosses. Personally, I'm a very difficult boss. I'm not saying difficult bosses do not exist. But if you're not able to maneuver those things when you work for somebody, when you start running your own business, it will be impossible, because it only gets harder. And that's the part that people do not understand. You think when you quit your job and you start running your own business, things will be easier. You'll just be fluid. You'll just do as you want. It will be harder. You're dealing with one client here who's your boss. Imagine dealing with 100 of your boss. Hey. Imagine having a business and all your clients are like me, because some of them are worse. In fact, most clients are worse. They're spending their money. They are spending their money, hard-earned money, or maybe easily earned, but whatever, that's their money. So they have expectations. If you're not able to meet up with the expectations of your boss, it will hurt you. It will really hurt you. Another thing you learn when you work for someone is adaptability. You're basically working for someone who is already running a business per se. So things change. Today there's money, tomorrow there's no money. Tomorrow the client's expectation has changed. Tomorrow your job description has changed. Things change at the office. When you work somewhere, things change. So you're already learning how to adapt without running your own business. Because one thing I can assure you is that when you start running your own business, every 7 business days, something will shock you. Hey, You have to keep adapting. And if it's something you're not yet used to, maybe you've not worked for someone and you're not yet used to adapting, you'll find it so hard. Projects come up suddenly, a task will just get unnecessarily challenging, there will be a problem. Like, if you can just adapt, if you learn how to adapt at work, when you start running your business, it'll be ABC for you. So if you have a boss, or you're the kind of person who has gone through 17 bosses this year, and you're thinking that maybe I'm the type of person who cannot really work for somebody, maybe I should start my own business, I think you should just sit down and think about it again. Because if you're not able to work under that kind of authority, then you'll not be able to manage clients. That's just one client. Your boss is your first client. You're not able to manage one. You'll not be able to manage multiple. You'll not be able. No, you will not. You work for someone, you understand how to manage time, punctuality, all of those things, adaptability, flexibility, communication. You try to get a balance between service and independence, because sometimes at work, there are certain things you need to handle yourself, but at the same time, you're rendering a service to your boss. So you really learn how to maneuver a whole lot of things. And if you're the kind of person who has just been going from job to job, boss to boss, accusing every boss of wickedness, and like I said, I know it's difficult and some people are impossible, but you get what I mean. If you've just been going from place to place and your major complaint, you're complaining about the fact that you cannot adapt because to you, everybody is difficult, then maybe you're the problem. Have you thought about it? Maybe you're the problem. And the worst thing you can do to yourself now is to think that you can start your own thing. It's not easier. It's harder. You will fail. You'll not make it. You cannot manage clients. That's why you have some service providers who are so rude. So rude, especially in this part of the world. They treat clients as though they're in competition with them, as if I have to be grateful for coming to spend my money on you. They treat clients as if we don't have sense. They're the ones who have sense. Like, the decision I've made to patronize you is you doing me a favor. That's why you have those kind of business people. When you go to a business place, an office or whatever, the ace employees, those employees who are killing it at their jobs, people who are just focused doing their work, facing the challenges, they learn how to maneuver things. They become the best entrepreneurs. They become the absolute best. Because they know, like they already know. There'll be nothing new. Yes, entrepreneurship has its own challenges and all. But trust me, the basics can easily be picked up wherever you work. Just depends on your mindset. That's why I usually tell people, when you work somewhere, just treat it as your own business, because it's a training ground. All the skills, the knowledge, everything you're picking up from there, you will not drop it at the door when you're leaving. You go with it. So just consider it your training ground, no matter how hard it is. Even if you're there for 1 day, 1 month, 2 months, it's an internship. It's training. Well, that's if you ever have intentions of doing your own thing, even if it's a side hustle. And I'm of the opinion that everybody should eventually do something, even if it's on the site or online or passive or whatever. Everybody should eventually do something. So where else do you want to learn? You have to learn on the job. So if you work somewhere now, just change your mindset. If you're an employee somewhere and maybe you've been facing challenges, or your mind has been like, oh, I want to start my own thing. I'm just here to pass and gather money and start my own thing. Treat that thing seriously, because that's a training ground for you. And if you fail there, you will most likely fail at your own hustle. It's almost guaranteed you would fail. So treat your job like a training ground. Your boss is your first client. Just treat them like a client. Learn with them. See, clients will stress you. Clients are stressful. Your boss has not started. See, your boss is not even doing anything. The things clients will tell you, the things clients will push you to your very limit, as in tears would flow. Your boss has not even started doing anything. And that's just one client. Your boss is your client. That's why they're so demanding. Now imagine 10, 15, 100. It's not easy. It only gets harder. So treat your boss now like a client. Just put it in your head that this is my client and I want to deliver no matter what. Or I'm training myself for when my time is right. And everything will work out well. So if you've ever thought of your job or your boss in this way, let me know. Drop a comment down below. Let's have a conversation about this. If you haven't subscribed to my channel till this moment, what are you waiting for? I'm dropping gems. Like, we'll just be dropping gems here weekly, daily, monthly. So please subscribe so that we'll continue having these interesting and productive conversations. I really like to learn from you too. So drop a comment if you have any input, or you have a contrary opinion, or you think what I'm saying here doesn't make sense. It does. Hello. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If there's anything else you want me to talk about, please, please, please make sure you drop a comment below and like this video. Please subscribe before this video ends. Subscribe to this channel and I'll be so grateful. Remember, if you work somewhere, treat it like your training ground, because tomorrow you obviously have to do your own thing. Treat it like a training ground. Your boss is your number one client. Stop looking at it like you're suffering or you're stressing yourself or whatever. No, this is a client and you're just here to deliver a service. All right. Thank you for the support so far. Thank you guys so much for always watching. And until the next video, make sure you keep making money. Make money no matter what. Like, just stay on your grind. Continue for cash out. See you.